Hi y'all, it is Naturally TC coming at you with this Loc retwist video done on this young king. I start off with a shampoo. Now this is the Lavender Mint shampoo by Paul Mitchell. And it has tea tree in it as well. It's really good, and I had already, before I started recording, had went through on his scalp and just place the shampoo along, in between the partings so that I can make sure that I get up any, residue or any. A lot of times when people have natural hair or dreads, if they sweat, there's a buildup of sweat on their scalp in that back section, like close to the nape. You really have to get that section because that's where most of that buildup will lie. And even in the middle of the head. So a lot of times if I'm shampooing my clients, I make them sit up first so that I can cleanse the scalp while they're sitting up, and then I go in with your normal regular shampoo. For those of you just entering the cosmetology field, like your shampoo and how you shampoo the hair and condition the hair at the beginning of your appointment is very important. Like, this is the foundation of your hairstyle. So regardless of if I'm doing a relaxed client or a natural client, I want to make sure that I'm starting on a clean head of hair. And when you have clients with dreads, it takes a lot. Like this young man actually keeps his very well, but you have some people that don't come and get their locks retwisted, every month, every 2 months, or nothing. You might see they might just, have an event to go to, and all of a sudden they want their locks retwisted. Well, they probably have 6 months worth of buildup. They may shampoo their hair at home, but a lot of times people don't shampoo their own hair properly. So just be mindful of that the shampoo and conditioning part of the service is just as important as the finishing part. Like, hair can look good, but you want to make sure that it's healthy, and actually the hair moves better when you start off right. When you're starting on a clean surface, then you add what you need to add as far as your styling products to the hair. But we want to clean out everything, all the impurities that should not be present when you're working on your client. If you notice, I made sure that I completely rinsed out the hair. And what I'm doing is, as I'm rinsing out the hair, I'm looking to make sure like there's no bubbles in the sink, because that means that there's still product present. You want to make sure that the client's hair is completely rinsed out before you start your second shampoo. All right, so now I have my client in my chair. Get them adjusted. I try to take most of the water out of his hair, because you don't want their hair like dripping wet. I'm using the Kenra leave-in conditioner. It's really light because I don't really like, I'm very careful about like what I put on the dreads, because once it dries, that buildup is not cute. So you want to, that product line, it seems like I just started using it. It seems like it's a pretty light product. So the leave-in, so I put the leave-in on there. I'm walking back really fast. And I'm just checking through the client's hair. Try to pull apart some of those that are growing together. It's been a while since he had a retwist, so I'm just going and I'm pulling them apart. I'm actually going to begin to section the hair, because I still work in sections. It's always easier if you work in sections, because kind of give you a guide as to what you're doing next. I believe I'm going to put 4 sections, 2 on the side. I like to do the 2 on the side because what I'm actually trying to do is work from like the crown of the head forward to get like how I want to lay the dreads or lay the style. So I always part off that section, and then the back is not, that big a deal. Either I would do 2 sides. If the client has a lot of dreads, I might do 2 sections, 2 long columns in the back, and then work up one and then work up the other. But because his are really thick and they're big, I'm just going to work in rows. Okay, so I'm using a comb just to kind of clean out the partings. I'm just kind of sweeping the hair away. It's not like I'm actually parting the hair, but I like the parts to look clean. So what I do is just take the comb and kind of, clean it up a little bit so that you can see the parts. If the hair is loose, then you can actually part the hair. But if it's not, if you just use the comb and kind of almost like back combing those parts so that they're clean, it's going to make your style look better. I'm using a twisting product that I'm actually working on, so I cannot tell you what I'm using, but I am working on a twisting product that is healthy for the hair, but also leaves no residue, but gives you the hold that you need. A lot of times I see that you don't really get the hold that you need on your dreads if you're using a product that is too light. And then if you use a product that is too heavy or use too much of a product, then that's when you have like the residue and the buildup. So hopefully it'll be out before the summer. So I'm palm rolling the hair, and what that means is I'm just simply taking the hair and I'm twisting. Like if your hands are one on top of the other, my left hand being on top, I'm going to push my left hand forward and slide my right hand back. So it's like I'm working with 2 motions. I take that hair and I twist it. And let's see if I can do it here. I'm putting the product on, twist, 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 twist. And see how I keep pulling the hair out? That's because I'm just trying to make it really clean and make sure that there's no hair left in the partings. Now this one he had really thick. I don't know. I think he had took 3. It might have been 3, 4, or 5, and combined them. So it's not really for me. Now you have real locticians. I'm a natural hairstylist, so I do dreads. I'm not really a loctician though. But I couldn't think of anything else I could really do to pull that apart because it had already locked up. So I just kind of twisted it and got it out the way. Okay, as you see, I'm working my way up. Like I said, I worked in rows with his hair. Now, when I'm palm rolling, like I put the gel at the root, and if you see, I kind of like slide it down his whole like dread shaft, I guess you would call it. Like I slide it down the dread because also, those little hairs that you see, because like some people dread, you see like they have like a lot of loose hairs. So that's what's going to prevent them from having so many just like loose hairs. And I'm going to do something at the end when I put him under the dryer that's going to help that as well. I actually, and I'm probably going to do this in this video, I actually go and trim like up the dreads after I do my palm rolling, and see how I'm palm rolling all the way down, kind of to get that whole hair shaft. Now, if I don't, what was I going to say? Shoot, I forgot. Okay, so what did I say? I'm going to roll it and palm roll it, and I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Main Life Mint Foam on the end, and I'm going to pull it through the end, so that's going to cause those hairs to lay down. But I also, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if I really do it in this video, but I'll actually go through and like trim up the dreads, like cut those hairs off. Now, don't hold that to me, because I don't know if that's what other locticians are doing out here, but that's what works for me, because I hate to see like those little hairs just left out. I know, you can use oil, it's a sealant, So that's going to help as well. But as far as what I do, and this is just what I do, I'll go ahead and like just cut those hairs off, like just cut the little fuzzies off. It makes the style look cleaner and their hair look even more uniform, because that's what you're going for when you're working with dreads. You're looking for a uniform, all those dreads to pretty much look the same. That's what you're ultimately trying to accomplish. All right, so I finished up his whole entire head, and then I take the client back to the sink. And what I'm doing right here is pulling that main mint foam all the way to the ends of his hair. Now, if you would like to purchase the main mint foam, it is available in our salon at mainlifestudio.com. That's mainlifestudio.com. I'll go ahead and place it like in the in the details, that the link, so you could get it. But yeah, that's what you're doing, is you're taking that foam and you're laying down those hairs. So you don't want to just complete the client and throw them under the dryer. Go that extra mile to do those small things that are going to make your style even look greater than it already would if you didn't take these little small steps. The client is paying, like they're paying their money for their hair to look great. So you have to take those extra steps to make that happen. Now my client is completely dry. He sat under the dryer probably like an hour and a half. I believe it's like an hour and a half, because he first went on for an hour and then went back for another 30 minutes. Now we have like this one dryer that is like super duper hot, and the poor baby was pink when he came from under there, but his hair was dry. So hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So now I'm taking out his clips. I'm just carefully taking them out. Now I did notice, like I said, this is a product that I am working on developing. So I did notice that on some of the ones that I used a little too much product, because Keisha says that I'm heavy-handed. That's my coworker. I'm very heavy-handed. So I like product. So that's why, I try to pick and choose which lines I use, because I don't want to over product a person's hair. But I do like I'm heavy-handed. Like I use a lot of foam. I use a lot of whatever I'm using. But yeah, so I'm taking out his clippies. Okay, so this is the part where I go in. Like I said, I'll go and trim the dreads. Like, I don't mind trimming them. But somebody might tell you, well, I mean, it's not like he's like a Rasta or something. Now, I don't think a Rasta would. You see that smile on his face? Oh, he's so handsome. But yeah, a true Rasta, I don't think they would be happy with you taking any scissors to their head. But for my clients that are just wearing their dreads pretty much just for style, I go in and I trim up those dreads and take off that fuzzy hair.